Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get mods from NexusMods, specifically Batman Arkham Knight. In this tutorial, it is a VRChat way of explaining how to get mods from NexusMods or Batman Arkham Knight into your Blender and into Unity. So the first things that we're going to need is Unreal PSK/PSA, which is the Blender plugin that you will use whenever you will import the PSK models. Another thing you're going to need is the UE viewer. The UE viewer allows you to get Unreal Engine models very easily, and I do understand that you guys can use F model, but for some versions of Unreal Engine, you will need to use this. Another thing you're going to need is the Batman Arkham Knight mod you are going to use. Me personally, I'm going to use Mr. Incredible because I think that it is pretty funny. Firstly, what we're going to do is to set this up. The way I have my settings is, I'll actually close this out real quick. I'm going to back up again, is I have it like this. Whenever it does this, you guys can just check out all of the settings. But what I do first is I download this. And the Blender that I personally like to use is Blender 5.0. I'm going to do this. I'm going to not save that. I'm going to exit out of all this. I'm going to go into Edit, Preferences, and then over here, Install from Disk. And I'm just going to install the zip file specifically. That way it'll install the PSK/PSA. If you want to check if you have it, go to File, Import. It should be right here. Now with that out of the way, what we're going to do is we are going to download the mod that we want. What we're going to do is it'll always set us into description. We go to Files, Manual Download, Slow Download. Sorry. Once your folder has been finished downloading, open UE Model, go into here, Downloads, go into your folder, go into here, extract all, and then go back to UE Model and click on this, and then select Folder, and then click OK. Always click the playable Batman. Always do that. Showcase sometimes work, but I always go with the playable version. What I also like to do is I like to go into Tools, Options. I have this as Actor-esque X. I have my TGA instead of TGA. I have it as uncompressed. This is the Save Packages, and this is the interface. Save Packages, Interface, Export. Once that is finished, I click OK, and I export it. It will go into this file. It'll probably pop this up again, but it'll show where you're exporting it from. I always like to go ahead and make sure I copy this. Okay, boom. I have it in that folder. So now that I have it in that folder, what it's going to show up is the first one in here. I always like to rename them. So like this one would be Mr. Incredible. I'd then go into File, Import, PSX, or PSK. Then I go back into my File Explorer, drag and drop this, skeletal mesh, and then body. Please note that these models also may be huge. When importing, you can just scale them down to your liking in Unity or in Blender. I'm going to get everything up. Now that I already have everything, another thing that you will need to combine these bones is cats. Which is called the Cats Blender plugin. You can just search that up on Firefox or whatever browser you use. Enable it, click X, Cats, Custom Model Creation, turn off Join Meshes. I always like to turn off Remove Zero Weight Bones, that way it merges properly, and Merge All Bones. And then, boom. Now, sometimes the bones may be fucked up, and that is completely okay. The easiest way to do that is to click on the bones, press Tab, which will allow you to put into edit mode. I like to bring the stone over here, that way I can get a better view. I check out the bones, make sure they're all right. It's going to show up as this for bones. With the jaw, it may not move properly. Like if I go ahead, I go into pose mode, then I do rotate. You notice it's only moving the jaw. The easiest way for you to merge the bones to fix the jaw is going to edit mode when you're in the armature category. Go down to the head, click on the ones that are usually at the bottom, which for me it is 5, 8, 1, 6, 7, and that is all of the lower bones. Then I click on jaw. Mind you, I am clicking on control on all of these. That way I can manually click on them. Then when I click on the jaw, I click on Control P and keep offset. That way all of the bones are now inside of jaw and they get moved into there. If you need to test it out, go into pose mode and then click on here, which was your rotate, and you can move it up and down. Now there always may be this one thing. The easiest way to fix that, go into here. Here, I'll actually close the mouth. Go into the base head model, click on Tab, A, P, by material. Now what that is called that's called mouth fog, and the easiest way I like to get rid of it is by just going over here. I see it right here, right click and delete. That way I have all of my materials set up. There also may be two eyes. You may have to try to figure out which eye it is will allow to move. If I even want to do this, Control A, P, by material, and that'll separate every single piece to my liking. Once you're done with that, go into File, Export, FBX, find out where your model is. For me, it's over here, Incredible, and I name it as Mr. Incredible, and boom. Then when I'm ready to open up the model, I go back into here, Mr. Incredible. I drag it into my Unity. I then go to try to find it. I drag and drop it in 0.105, brings it into here, and all of your textures will be in here. You may need to try to find them manually, but what I like to do is I like to go into here, type _D, and it gives me all of the base materials. And that is how you export NexusMods into Blender and then into your Unity project. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all soon. Peace.